Hello, everyone, to episode 10 of Tampo Season 2. My name is HD Paladin, otherwise known as Paladin. Let's go around and meet our lovely players, including some. Did you fall asleep? We're
I think
live.
so. Yeah, I think
We're live.
I think your little pre-show speech was so boring that Latia just fell asleep.
Yeah, I mean, if she's already asleep, may as well kill her character now. There's no point.
Hey, why would you do that to me?
Let's start with our player introductions with Latia. Hello, Latia. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Latia, and I'm back, baby. I'm really happy to be here among my friends, my true friends who I love very much. I will be playing Lost in the Forests of Iraga, Pilar, your Mangangaya Ranger, because I was gone and now I'm back, and we'll find out what I was doing. Josh, say something.
Something.
So forceful.
Hi, what's up? My name is Josh. I am very excited to be playing your gold gnome, Babylon, here today. He has a massive pet chicken. That's it. That's the whole character.
Nothing else matters anymore, just the chicken?
Just chicken.
Just chicken. Those wings are gonna be so good. Lucia, I think you're next.
Hey, I'm Lucia. I'm playing Gaita, the Black River Barbarian, who is also kind of obsessed with this chicken.
Did she already lose power already? That
Oh
was
no.
so fast.
We're off to a good start.
That was so fast. There's a new record.
Because I can
No,
hear
here we
you
go.
guys though.
Okay. So it just froze for a moment.
I was like, I can hear you guys.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
eat this chicken.
Gaita loves this chicken because Lucia is projecting. That's what I was gonna say. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm also worried. I don't want anything to happen to the chicken.
I mean, who knows what will happen to the chicken?
You do.
No, I don't. I don't know what's going to happen to this chicken. But moving on from the impending death or non-death of this chicken, we are down one critical bard tonight. Thoughts and prayers. Hope he's doing well tonight. But aside from critical bard being missing tonight, I do think we do have some sponsors to thank.
Yeah, I need a moment to just like talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. I feel
Okay.
imminent fear, and that's unfair
I'm
as a DM.
Oh
afraid.
no.
I feel imminent fear as a DM,
I'm
and that is
so afraid.
I'm not a fan of this. I want
Yes.
y'all to know that today when I hopped into the Zoom call, I just saw Josh in the corner holding a glowing D20, and I had no context, so I have no idea what's about to happen, and I'm not a fan.
And when I hopped into the call, Paladin was shrieking.
That's my natural state of being. You caught me
Well,
unaware.
I mean, yeah, but like, at least like naturally, I'm prepared for that. Like, I was not prepared for this one.
Well, you were gone for 2 weeks. What do you expect?
I expect to be welcomed a little bit nicer.
We welcomed you back. We are just, oh God, oh no.
What is happening?
Oh no.
What's up, everybody? So today, the guy who writes the ad bits, he's kind of like checked out because he's going on vacation in like T-minus 3 hours. So you're stuck with me. This is the ad bit. This is the whole bit. Is I'm going on vacation and I'm checked out and I'm it's so. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our sponsor, Hit Point Press. Unlike the long lines at O'Hare Airport, Hit Point Press, you've got a really great streamlined experience. You get in, you get out, you get the stuff you need. It's really just like a high quality experience. And you might be wondering, like, what types of things can I get from the Hit Point Press store? Because that's our sponsor, Hit Point Press. I don't know if I said that yet or not. You might be wondering, like, what can you get from the Hit Point Press store? You could get like the Islands of Sina Una book. Like, that's what we're going to play today. It's like the best vacation destination because there's like islands and water and sun and a bunch of like things that'll kill you. So like, just like luxury vacation, 100% sure. Or if, you're more of like as someone who likes to do activities when you're on vacation, you could check out the Heckna module that you can get. Got a whole big old book, which is like an evil themed carnival. So, maybe you're the type of person on vacation who loves hanging out, walking around. Like maybe you go to like, insert name brand theme park here. Heck, that would be great for you because it's literally just that, but like evil. So, like go check that out, I guess. Or maybe right on vacation, you like to like go and find things and collect things. You should check out the Deck of Many because you can get like animated spell cards and cards with like stat blocks for your NPCs or your monsters or whatever. It's super great. And the best thing, of course, is that if you get your vacation through Hit Point Press, you're not going to be delayed. There's no travel delays. There's no, waiting in airports. And you avoid the most real kind of issue that you ever run into on a vacation, which is the fact that you can't escape the ever increasing void in your soul. So, just like check it out. I don't know. Also, because normally there's another person here, right? And so normally this is the bit of the show where Josh pitches the ad bit to someone else, and then someone else takes it from here. You still got me, right? I'm still sitting in the airport terminal. It's like that movie Terminal. I'm not going anywhere. I'm stuck, and you're stuck with me. So today we're also want to tell you that we're sponsored by the cool folks at Arcane Spectacles. Hold up, I've got it in my luggage over here. This is my cool thing from Arcane Spectacles. It's a spell slot tracker. I put my D6s in here, and then that way I know like how many spell slots I have left because I'm bad at math. And also, I like the paper airplane ticket because I'm just a tactile person. And like, on vacation, you need to get like souvenirs and whatnot. Check out a souvenir from the show. Go over to Arcane Spectacles. Check that out. Or right, hear me out on this. You could go and join the folks at Idle Champions. We want to thank them for their support. They released a new character this week, whose name is, of course, leaving my mind as soon as I go to talk about it. But there's a new character that got a whole event surrounding it. It's pretty cool. Let me just use my Google powers really quickly because I've literally just forgotten the name of the character.
It's Eliwick. Eliwick.
Eliwick. Thank you. I was gonna say Eluwin, and I was like, that's not right. I know that's not right.
Close, but no cigar.
Thank you.
Also, you can't have cigars in the airport, so it's fine.
You're right. There's only one designated smoking area, and I don't want to lose my seat to walk to the smoking area because some like grandmother will come and take my seat. And we don't stand up for grandmothers. So anyways, also want to thank the folks at RockPunch for sponsoring this show, letting us do this thing. Y'all are great. We literally wouldn't be here without RockPunch. So come and join us every week. Join them on Sunday for D4. It's a really cool show with 2 DMs. That's twice the storytellers. It's a blast. You can join them on Sundays and check out their YouTube channel. They put out new content every week. Yeah, that's it. That's the vacation ad read.
It's like 2865 to somewhere not here is now boarding.
I think that's my flight.
And then just doesn't come back.
He's just gone.
He just doesn't come back. He really is on vacation. Just leaves.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I maybe he just didn't fucking leave.
Thanks, Josh, for all your hard work.
I'm back.
Thank
I'm
you.
back. Paladin, back to you.
All right, sure. With that in particular out of the way,
Whatever it was.
whatever that was, let's head into tonight's session of Tampo.
Okay, sure.
Welcome to tonight's episode of Tampo. Last time we played, the party encountered cultists on the dock of Iraga, fought against them with the Datu, and then, refresh my memory, did you buy outright or did you rent a giant chicken?
Oh, I bought a giant chicken. Sisu
All right.
is mine by law. I have a receipt.
No, you don't.
I have a mental receipt in my head.
Did we just get confirmed that they're cultists then?
I mean, that's a word that was passed around.
Okay,
Don't give me that side eye.
good to know.
Don't give me that side eye. If I point down this way, am I pointing at you? Yeah. Hey, you down there. You down there. Don't. Okay. What's with the eyebrow raise? Dai, Gaita, and Manalo headed deep into the forests of Araga, heading towards the Bay of Baga. Along the way, you spoke with your giant chicken, learned a bit of its temperament, learned a bit of its nature, and Manalo spoke to the thing inside his mask. In order to keep the connection going for longer, he exhausted himself by holding onto this eldritch tether, and is currently deep into a sleep to recuperate from 4 levels of exhaustion.
Jesus.
Yes. 4 levels.
Wow.
But going backwards in time, during the attack on Iraga, when Halihadima and his forces erupted onto Iraga itself, Pilar wasn't with the group. Pilar was still at the docks with a young Mulakayo named Hinahan. Pilar,
Yeah, what's up?
you okay there?
Yep.
As Hinahan is starting to calm down and is starting to feel just a bit better, being comforted, large tigers and growling and blood, the entirety of the city around you is in a state of disarray as tigers are attacking people and people are screaming, running, fighting back, and some are being put down.
Some people, some tigers, some both.
Yes. Some
Great.
people, some tigers, some boats, oh my. My most hated book. As you are getting just your bearing for the situation, you notice that there are 2 tigers who are looking straight at you and Hinahan.
You don't like that.
What do you do?
Well, do believe that my crease is still in my hand. Actually, no, my sumpit is in my hand because I used it to not beat the crap out of Hinahan, but beat the crap out of Hinahan. Well, I look at these tigers and how there are other tigers wreaking havoc on the city, and I'm like, well, I've never skinned a tiger before.
So what do you do?
I shoot one.
You shoot one?
I shoot one.
Please roll the hit.
That is, oh dang, I didn't even up that. God, I'm so bad at everything that is to do. It hit. It's a 19.
19 does hit. Please roll damage on
I
this
will.
tiger.
I will roll damage on this tiger. I will. 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage.
Yes.
All right. As you fire off against this tiger, 3 warriors of the city are cornering in on them as well, and they are all starting to thrash their weapons, trying to strike down these tigers. What's fun about my desk right now is that I have a drawer that I can just kind of pull out and have this entire dice tray full of dice ready for me.
Well,
Give me one
ain't
moment.
ain't you fancy?
Yes, I am extremely fancy with my IKEA hodgepodge desk. Let me roll some attack rolls here.
What if you didn't though?
Yeah, I mean, I could just not roll, but you know. Warriors attack the tigers, and the tigers strike back. And one of the tiger that you hit in particular is starting to break down, but one tiger still looks strong. Hinahan brings out her weapon and launches at one of the tigers. What do you do?
I'm sure I feel like even though she's calmed down, like she probably does still need to work off some like aggression or whatever. So I let her go ham on this tiger.
Mm-hmm.
And I just watch her back.
All right. Roll some attack rolls again. You see Hinahan bring out her weapon and strike one tiger square in the head. It falls to the ground, but one tiger, let me see here, bites her armor in the back.
Ooh.
And picks her up and slams her into the ground before retreating away from the warriors.
Okay. Does it let her go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But at this point, Hinahan looks as the look of someone who is experiencing adrenaline for the first time and hasn't really gotten used to it.
Mm-hmm.
You see her get up, yell, and start running into the forest.
Yeah, I ran after her.
Okay. The two of you start heading into the forest. Could I please get a survival check?
Hey. That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You head into the forest and you're able to keep pace with Hinahan just fine as you see her hunt down this tiger in full plate. And in like full, not full plate, just full heavy armor.
Mm-hmm.
You have the tiger in sight. You could strike it with your Sumpit dart.
I don't think I will. I will ready a dart in case Hinahan looks overwhelmed, but I'm gonna let her take care of this.
Okay. As the two of you are heading deeper and deeper into the forest, the tiger leaps forward, turns around, and Hinahan is moving too fast into the tiger, and the tiger hits her once in the chest with a very devastating claw, breaking part of her hodgepodge armor away. And Hinahan collapses into the ground where she tries to get up.
That I would fire then.
Please roll the hit.
That is a 24.
24 hits. Please roll damage.
That is 8 points of piercing and 1 acid damage because I forgot that my Sumpit has that fancy new ability.
So 9?
Yes.
You strike again. You strike with your Sumpit, and the dart just hurls through the air, hitting this tiger dead on. It gets hit, and it growls as the acid starts to burn away at its pelt, and looks to you and charges.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's
Can you
go.
get a DC 13 strength saving throw?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. This tiger closes in on you in an instant, hitting you with its claw, dealing. Oh, that's a D10. I can roll a D10 for this.
Ooh.
Dealing 10 points of damage. But you are able to stand just firm and upright. Your turn.
Let's see. It's in close distance with me, isn't it?
It's in melee with you.
Melee with me? Cool. Yeah, I'll stab it with my sumpit.
All right, please roll the hit.
16.
16 hits. Please roll damage.
Right. That is just regular. I don't get the acid if I'm not firing a dart, right?
Correct.
All right, that's just 7 points of damage then.
7 points of damage.
And this is magical damage because I'm using the boar's tusk.
You strike with your sumpit into the tiger, and from the damage done earlier.
I get to attack twice.
Oh no. Please, please roll the hit then. This will determine if it's looking to turn on you.
Okay, that's a 19. That's a 25 to hit
25 to hit.
for another 5 points of damage.
All right. You stab it once, and as it starts to gather up the last of its strength, you pull out and stab again, felling it. Its full weight goes onto your spear, which you throw to the ground as Hinahan catches her breath and stands next to you.
Huh. Where these tigers come from?
You notice now the odd coloration of this tiger. Typically, tigers have a base of orange or some aspect of yellow and black stripes, but this one has green fur,
Like forest green, neon green?
like forest green. And as you've been moving through the woods, as you've been moving through the forest, it's been changing colors to match the foliage.
Okay. Want this. Are you, Hinahan, are you good?
Hinahan is doubled over and breathing hard, but she looks at you and gives you a weak thumbs up, going, this is really heavy. I'm okay, but this is heavy.
Yeah. I'll toss a cure wounds at her just because. First level. 8 points of healing to her.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of want to skin this thing.
Go for it.
So I have a hunter's kit now, and I'm proficient with that. Does that help?
That would help. That would let you add your proficiency modifier. That would give you 1d4 to your attempt to skin this, I would say. I'm also going to say that this is a task that takes a long amount of time, so I would tell you that you would have to take a short rest during this.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, to give Hinahan the like, my impression of Hinahan is that she hasn't fought that much, like really fought. So this may be a little bit like not much for her, but it's like she's never been in a fight where I don't think was at risk of actually like dying.
Yeah, the safe assumption is that she's been fighting people in town who aren't really suspecting someone of her caliber to come hurtling at them.
Right. So I'm gonna say to Hinahan, I'm like, just sit for a minute, catch your breath. We'll figure out where we are, and I'm gonna skin this thing.
She nods and takes off the damaged part of her armor and just sits against a tree looking up as you start to skin this tiger.
Cool. What am I rolling for that?
That's gonna be a survival plus a d4.
Heck yeah. 18 plus 8, 26. 26.
It takes time. It takes a better part of an hour just to get most of the fur cut, and then the rest of another hour to actually have the skin ready to dry.
Mm-hmm. While I'm skinning it, it's like every so often I look over at Hinahan and I'm like, so are you good?
I think so.
Okay.
Pilar,
Yeah.
where are we?
I think it's about now that she's like just finished skinning it and like making sure that it'll dry properly. And she looks around and she's like, it's a very good question.
I don't know where we are.
Well, neither do I. But we can take a minute, get our bearings, and see if we can find a path or or how thick is this forest? Like the canopy.
You look up and there's barely any sky to make
Okay.
through.
So she looks up and around, and yeah, well, I'll see if I can get my bearings and see if we can find some part of the forest that will let me see some sky. And we can find out how to get out of here.
You look up and the way that the sky is just so densely packed with the canopy of the trees, it creates this kind of rippling light and shadow effect all around you.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize that you know what it's like to move in nature. You know what it's like to travel in unknown territory. This kind of shadow play and light effect is fantastic hunting territory for predators.
Mm-hmm.
As there's never any solid there's no solid way to conceal yourself, but it is a solid way to find things if you keep moving.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we just have to keep moving.
Okay. um I've okay. Okay.
Yeah, you got this. You handled that tiger pretty well. You handled me pretty well. You've got like skill. You just gotta, you know, refine it a bit. And luckily, I've got experience being out in the wilderness like this, so we'll be fine.
Okay, Pilar. Okay. um she picks up her weapon, which isn't exactly lethal, you recall.
Mm-hmm.
It does deal uh not lethal damage.
It's an axe?
It's just wood.
Oh, it's
it's
just
it,
wood.
it's wood, kind of carved into the vague shape of an axe, but there's no edge to it.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I'll hand her my crease.
She takes it and she puts aside her normal axe, and holds the kris and looks to you and nods.
Hold it like I adjust her grip just a little bit. Hold it like that. Good.
Oh, okay. So, okay,
Yeah, you got it.
okay. So what do you do?
I wrap up this pelt.
Okay.
Because we only encountered the one tiger like at the end of the day.
Yes.
Okay, so I wrap up this pelt. And I make a survival check, I suppose.
All right. Please roll.
My gosh, that's a 24.
A 24.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of get you're trying to recall the path you took,
Mm-hmm.
and you think you got the right direction, and you just start heading what you hope is backwards. We're going to cut away here to the next day to Gaita and I. Gaita and I, you wake up and You feel fine, but uh, but Manalo is fully asleep. He just looks worn out more than usual.
We wake him up.
Manalo does not wake up. Manalo's alive, but Manalo does not wake up.
What do you think, Kaita?
I'm not sure. We're missing 2 of our children. We leave him here.
Well, I don't think we should leave him here.
Should we put him up on the chicken and keep going?
I'm not entirely sure the chicken can carry him, but we could try.
Do we think the chicken could carry him?
Handily, yes. Very, very easily.
Not entirely sure the chicken could carry him.
The only complication would be getting this large crocodilian and therefore dense mass reptile person onto the chicken as 2 small humanoids.
I don't suppose you know anyone strong, do you?
I mean, I could try and get him up there.
If you do that, I can just have the chicken kneel down so that it's less of a height for you to toss him.
We could try it.
Seems like a good idea. But I'll be the one taking care of the chicken, and you can throw him. That way, if he gets hurt, that's on you.
I won't throw him.
Okay.
Maybe just have the chicken kind of spread her wings if you can. Just in case.
Yes, I think we could do that. And I'll kind of turn to Sisu. I'm not going to cast Speak with Animals or anything, but I'll just kind of turn and be like, Sisu, would you mind just getting down and putting your wings out like this? Just, down and wings out. Down, wings out.
Sisu looks at you and puts its arm straight out and then dips down and goes back up.
Okay, I'll motion just going all the way down and just sitting down.
Sisu goes all the way down, goes all the way back up.
But I'm staying down, so I'll just no, come down. Down!
Sisu walks up to you, goes down, tries to bite the back of your clothing.
No!
Bites the back of your clothing and lifts you up as it stands back up.
No! I'm now literally dangling in the air, kicking and screaming. No! Put me down! You need to get on the ground. Rah!
Rah! And drops you.
Rah! The chicken refuses to cooperate. You're just going to have to throw Manalo all the way up on top of it. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it.
That's fine. That's fine. I have 4 of them. I'm gonna rage.
Could I ask before you rage what your strength score is?
You can. It's not bad. I have a +4 modifier, so
Well, what's your actual score itself?
it's an 18.
18. Okay, so your carrying capacity with an 18 strength score is in fact 270 pounds. So you can just lift him up.
Oh.
Yeah. I forgot that you are in fact a barbarian.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
the running joke with do you know anyone strong?
Lola.
So you can just oh, I've got to.
yeah. I'm gonna when your kid is sick and you have to kind of get him in the bed. Lola's just kind of gonna go over and baby hold him and then get him over the chicken.
Just
And, like,
feet
lay-
dragging in the earth behind you, top of my body just fully flipped over in front to the side. Just a very ungainly thing, because we might be strong. You don't have like proper leverage, so like it is a bit awkward to get him just kind of like to not flop all over the place.
Yeah. But you know, I'm gonna like support the neck, the head. Is this what I'm used to doing? Like under the knee.
So so just for my sake, what are your 2 grabbing points?
So like a big kid, kind of like under, like right here, kind of under the neck, head area, and then my hand kind of cups the snout on the other side like this, and then the other one is like scoop under the knee.
Okay, so let me get the full context here. You, a halfling with maybe a 2.5 foot
I'm a half
wide
elf.
Oh, you're a half elf?
Yeah,
Okay.
full
Yes.
size.
Okay.
I'm
For
just
some
small
reason,
because
thought
I slouch. I have
Okay.
bad posture as
For
an
some
old
reason in my mind, I
lady.
thought you were like an actual like small humanoid, but okay. So you
It's
are able
just
to
me.
grab the knee, grab the neck, which is going to cause you to, in full sense, kind of pull his knee towards his forehead.
Yeah.
As you lift him up, which is A, not comfortable for anybody involved, and B, just one leg full on dangling behind you as you carry him.
But I'm strong.
Yes, I know, but like he is also just a large reptilian man.
I'll just do what I have to do to get him up on this chicken.
Yeah. I'm just saying that, like, yeah, you are super jacked, and if you start posing, I would in fact hear the JoJo Bizarre Adventure theme song going on in the background somewhere. But like, he is still a very large reptilian man.
I don't know how else to pick him up.
I mean,
Unless I
logic
were
would-
like
logic would say-
firefighter carry him.
Logic
but I
would
don't
say
know.
like get both knees.
Yeah, both knees if I could.
Yeah, entirely possible. Not just the one knee.
Well, I said hook under the knee because you said contact point. So I was thinking both.
Yeah, okay. So you can get both. You only said one, so I'm just like, oh no.
Oh,
You pick him up and you can put him on the chicken.
okay. Yeah, I get him up there, and then I'll kind of like, I don't know why you're sleeping, but the chicken will protect you. And I'll kind of give her like a little scritch.
I'll use a rope to like tie Manalo, securely fasten him so that he doesn't slide off of the chicken.
As you tie Manala down, Sisu immediately goes "Brah!" and stands up. And can you give me just a raw dexterity check?
Oh no.
Yes. 15.
15. You're able to tie him, by the way, so that he's not just gonna like flap off immediately. But like as Sisu stands up, now his body is just kind of like wavy arm man flopping.
Cool. Very cool. You're gonna carry him now. Let's go.
Sisu immediately turns around.
The wrong direction. This way.
Sisu immediately turns to the left and then to the right.
I'm just gonna start walking in the right direction.
Sisu looks like she's trying to find something and is starting to get a little off balance, like trying to like find out what's going on.
This chicken.
Sisu, this way.
Sisu turns around and turns to the left, and you can see the weight of Manal hopping around causes her to kind of go just like a little skidding to the left and gets her rebalanced and kind of follows you along.
Oh, good. All right. And we'll start walking to meet the Maiden of Blood.
Sisu puts out her wings, walks up behind you, and just walking directly behind you, wings outstretched.
I'm not going to correct her on that. She'll get tired eventually.
It's a good chicken.
She grabs the back of your clothing, lifts up, and continues walking.
No! Stop!
Carrying capacity on these chickens is quite impressive.
It's almost as if it's a large creature with a high strength score.
Stop!
Anna.
Stop! Let me down! Like,
You know me, animal handling check?
yes!
Yeah, for the record, anybody in the audience, Sisu, if I can find the right stat block here. Sisu is a large beast, with a strength score of 13. Sisu, because she's been bred to be a mountain, to be used as a pack animal, has a strength score of a 16 as a large beast.
Sisu be strong.
Right? It's a buff chicken.
It's one buff chicken. It's an uncomfortably buff chicken.
Can we work out together?
You'd have to ask Sisu, person without speak with animals.
Good to know.
And you four continue through the forest. Can I get a survival check?
Want the record to show that I got a 2 on the animal handling check.
Yeah, I figured, buddy. I figured. Because you didn't say anything.
Just wasn't worth sharing.
Yeah, so your survival gets to be at a disadvantage.
Cool.
What did you get? What did you get, Lucio?
It was a natural one, so 3.
This is good. What did you get to I?
7.
That is very good. So you're going through the forest. You assume the right way.
Oh no.
And we are going to cut back to the previous day with Pilar.
Boy, oh boy. I'm
Hello.
so glad to be back.
Are you?
You gotta catch up. You have the brain cell this week.
I'm waiting above the game. I'm just waiting for whatever this convergence point is going to be, because it will probably kill me.
Oh, that's harsh.
I mean, in a good way. Like, I'm just going to die of happiness, however we get there.
I mean, no comments. Pilar.
Yeah.
It is midday and you are somewhere in the forest of Araga.
Mm-hmm.
You presume to be heading in the right direction, but it's really hard to tell with how this forest is laid out. It's almost acting against you.
Yeah.
With the layout.
Can I roll like a nature or arcana check to see if this is not malignant forces at hand, but, spirits?
You may, yes. This would be either a nature or a religion check.
Oh, or religion.
Or religion.
Well, either of those are the same. So here we go. 14.
14. Okay. You try and figure it out, and you get the feeling that this forest isn't truly against you. It is just for whoever hunts here naturally.
Okay.
It is causing some level of disorientation as it actively acts against you.
Hinahan, do you know anything about this forest?
Not this far in, no.
Okay.
Sometimes I play in the forest, but we never got this far in.
Rightfully so.
Where are we?
Do I at least, with that survival check from earlier, do I at least know what direction we're headed?
Can you give me a survival check?
A new one.
Mm-hmm.
23.
23. You presume you're heading back north because you can kind of hear the sound of waves hitting rocks, using that to orient yourself. But the way sound keeps traveling into this part of the forest, it's starting to waver and disorient and shift, and you're trying to get a bearing on where the ocean actually is. But for what might be the first time in your life, I don't know for certain, it's hard to tell where the water is.
Okay. So I can hear waves hitting rocks, but I can't pinpoint where that's coming from?
Yes.
Okay.
You think you're pretty sure, but you're working off of estimation, not exact fact.
Right. Well, I think we're headed back north, and I can hear water. Um, but I'm under the impression that this forest is more attuned to the natural creatures inside of it and not newcomers. So,
What does that mean?
um, it means that the spirits don't necessarily dislike us. They just like what lives here more.
Oh,
I don't know yet if that's a bad thing.
so the trees hate us?
No, no, the trees don't hate us. They just they like what lives in them more. The trees
Oh.
are neutral to us.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a bad thing yet.
Pilar, I don't get that at all.
Look, I've never met a forest I didn't like.
You
But
ever meet a
this one-
forest that didn't like you?
No. Well, there was that one tree in Adlato.
What happened there?
May have tried to kill me.
Why did a tree try to kill you?
Reasons unknown to me.
So there's just a tree that didn't like you and you didn't know why?
Yes.
Do you piss off nature a lot?
No,
You sure?
no.
Okay.
I try not to.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just keep going. We're fine. We're fine. We'll just keep walking.
Okay. As you head through the forest more and more, you become vaguely aware of someone, a voice calling out. There's no exact words to it, but it's kind of this rhythmic hum.
Is it, you said there are no words, but does it sound like a language?
What languages do you speak?
That's a very good question. I speak Common, Sylvan, and 3 more that I haven't had a chance to talk to you about yet.
You should probably figure out what those 3 are.
Yeah.
But what are the ones you do speak?
Common and Sylvan.
Okay, cool. So we're lucky this time. It's Sylvan. You're not quite sure what exactly they're saying, but they're trying to imitate the sound of leaves being rustled by the wind.
Oh.
It's very light and airy despite the actual cadence to it.
Okay, can I tell where it's coming from?
It's coming a little ahead of you.
Okay. So I kind of gesture to Hinahan to, like, not necessarily like stop walking, but to slow down. And I say, there is something in front of us, pretending to be something that it's not.
Gotcha. She takes at her Chris and bolts
towards it. No, can I try and like grab her before she gets too far away?
Do you want this to be a dexterity check or a strength check?
Dexterity, because I'm like I want to get her before she gets too far away.
Okay, there's gonna be opposed by her strength.
All right, let's do it.
What did you get?
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 I got a 12.
You got a 12?
think
All
it's
right.
12.
You managed to grab onto the back of her armor. But Hinahan has a +2 to strength and rolled an 18 and pulls you forward a bit, making you stumble as she just launches out of your grip, running forward.
That's not what I wanted you to. And I chase after her.
Did you communicate this?
No, I wasn't expecting her to go for it so quickly. Like as I'm grabbing her, I'm like, Hinahan, no.
Hinahan has no response, but bolts forward through the bush. What do you do?
Cool. I chase after her.
You chase after her through the trees, and you find her at the beginning of this small little clearing, stopped.
Okay. What do I see?
In this clearing, you see this dwarven woman standing. She has this large skirt coming off her hips, this wrap around her chest, and all kinds of gold and iron adornments coming around her waist and across her shoulders. Her tattoos are layered, one over the other around both of her arms. Her hair is swept behind her, going straight back, and there is this, not this gold kind of adornment that you would see of a lot of people of power, but it's that kind of same adornment made out of wrought and smooth iron. She has a spear with her, but rather than just a simple spearhead, there is this kind of embellishment to it. It goes down a good 1.5 foot down from the tipping point, and there's all kinds of different things hanging off the head. It looks more ornamental than actually useful.
Mm-hmm. And she's just standing there?
She is looking up at the forest line, and you can feel the air humming from her.
Oh, okay. So yeah, as I'm chasing after Hinahan, I'm like, Hinahan, this is not the... And then I get to the clearing and I see this woman, and what is Hinahan doing?
Hinahan is looking at her, and is reaching out with just one hand, and squeals.
Scared, happy?
Happy. She runs forward towards this dwarf, and this dwarf turns round a little slowly. Then you see her eyes raise up as Hinahan gives her just this giant hug.
Okay, this is unexpected, but I can deal with this.
The dwarf woman gives her a hug back, and you hear her whisper, just very quietly, but her whisper is just carrying very far.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your father is very worried. You are just a worrying child, aren't you?
Okay.
And Hinahan is just lets go and beams and looks over at you and waves you over.
I go over.
The dwarven woman looks over at you and says, "Are you one of the new people that came to our town to speak with Gani?"
Yeah, that's me. I'm Pilar.
Hello. Why are the two of you out here?
We ran from the... I brandished the pelt that I've been carrying. We ran from the tigers.
You ran or you hunted?
We ran.
Uh-huh.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
No, like you, Paladin.
Yes, what's up?
While we've been traveling, like, has the pelt changed color at all?
The color of the shrubs has been shifting with the terrain.
Interesting. Okay. All right. No, the way I'm not gonna ask her anything the way you responded like her before you knew I was talking to you.
You see her with her free hand raise up 2 fingers, and you see kind of coming out of the ground is this uh, sorry is this massive crocodile.
Oh.
Its body looks like it's composed out of partially obsidian, partially magma, but its eyes are made out of clear water.
That's neat.
It looks over at you, Pilar, and just hisses that kind of crocodilian hiss where you can hear kind of building up before it snaps.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at it. Take Hinahan home. Go. And Hinahan looks at you, looks at the large crocodile, and rushes over and gives you one last hug.
Did I return?
Before following the crocodile, leaving you and this dwarf alone.
Thank you.
Why are you here?
I'm here with my friends to. It's been 2 weeks. I don't remember why we're here.
Check your notes before every session.
No, I was asleep because I was tired. My friends and I are on the trail of a creature that caused some chaos in my hometown, and we came to Iraga to do research.
But why are you here? I know why you've come to my home, but why are you here?
In the forest?
No. Come on. And she starts walking through the forest.
A little confused, but I follow. Can I roll an insight check on her?
Go for it.
I feel like she's my grandmother and she's mad at me. 23.
23? Okay. She is not your grandmother, but she is very disappointed in you.
That's the word I was looking for. That's worse.
You have disappointed someone else's grandmother.
Yeah, not my literal grandmother, but I feel like she has that grandmotherly personality about her that as soon as I saw her, I felt like I should apologize for whatever I did.
Just you and go, sorry, I breathed, I breathed, I'm sorry.
Actually, as we walk, as we start walking, Pilar will say, I'm sorry.
For?
I don't know, but I feel very uncomfortable.
If you're apologizing without knowing what you're apologizing for, what's the point? If you need to apologize, figure out what you're apologizing for first.
Fair point.
You're a grown woman. You should know this much. Come on.
At least she didn't say you should know better. That's worse. I don't even know what I did.
You start heading deeper and deeper into the forest. Do you say anything else to this woman?
Do I realize that that we're going deeper and deeper into the forest?
Yes, you do.
Cool. This is not the way back.
No, it's not.
Okay. Why is this not the way back?
Why do you think it's not the way back?
Does any of this look familiar to me?
You start going through the forest. You can recognize vegetation. You can recognize trees. You can recognize fruits. Some of the things here you haven't really seen outside of market. So to see them growing naturally is new to you.
Mm-hmm.
But this
But
part
like
of Lunan you haven't really seen before.
But like in terms of like the path that I took with Hinahan to get to this dwarven woman, is she leading me like a complete reverse?
Not a complete reverse.
Okay. Okay. Then I still feel scolded. So I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit longer. Pilar has a thought and is waiting for it to be realized.
What thought is she trying to realize?
Pilar is under the impression that this woman is leading her back to the corpse of this tiger.
Okay. Can you make a survival check?
Oh wow. Finally. An 11.
An 11?
Mm-hmm.
What you can tell, you're not heading back the direct path. You're not heading back to the corpse of the tiger.
Okay. Then I got nothing, and Pilar doesn't feel animosity from this woman. She told the giant lava crocodile to take Hinahan home, so she trusts her that much. So she's just going along with what this woman wants.
It's been about 3 hours now walking through this forest, and this woman hasn't said a word to you. Every now and then you find yourself going in a slightly off-kilter direction from her, and you felt a quick of the butt of her spear hitting you in an ankle.
Ouch. Ugh. I think the first couple of times she says sorry, and then she remembers what this woman has said about saying sorry, and she just doesn't say anything after that. At probably about the 3-hour point, where are we going?
Where do you think we are going?
I mean,
Do you need someone else to give you answers?
No.
Then why are you asking?
I mean, can you just tell me what I did?
Do you not know what you did? Are you not in control of your actions?
How have I offended you?
Who said I was offended?
I feel like you're about to tell me that I did something incredibly wrong, and I'm very uncomfortable.
Do you feel like you did something wrong, or do you know you did something wrong?
I feel like I did something wrong.
Why?
The way that you looked at me.
Why do you feel so guilty?
I don't think Pilar has an answer for that.
Where are your friends right now?
They were in town the last I knew.
Uh-huh.
I went to calm down Hinahan, and then that was at the docks, and then the tigers attacked, and then Hinahan and I ran in here, and I haven't seen them since.
Why did you come here originally? To my
Uh,
island.
for research.
On?
Our mysterious friend and the Maiden of Blood.
So, if they're doing that, what are you doing?
I I was protecting Hinahan.
Yes. And now you have to catch up. Because you weren't doing what you came here to do.
Okay.
You seem to be confused.
A little bit. So this is research, what we're doing now.
Yes. Because apparently you cannot learn. Why did you let a child lead you on?
I didn't let her do anything.
No?
No.
You gave her a knife?
I gave her a means to defend herself?
Mm-hmm. I heard what happened. You and her fought against the tigers? And then when one ran, she gave chase? You followed?
Was I gonna let her be eaten by a tiger?
Did you not think to say don't?
Well, she wasn't doing a very good job of listening before.
She is young. You try again. She is young. Did you give her your patience? Or did you expect the same duties from her as you would your friends?
I don't expect anything from my friends.
No, but if a fight breaks out, you expect them to do what they should do in a conflict, correct?
Yes.
Did you expect that from her?
And here Pilar actually like stops and thinks about this. Like the answer isn't quite yes, but it's also not quite no. I just didn't want her to get hurt.
So why didn't you try and stop her with words?
I don't have those.
You don't have words?
Not very good at those.
So why do you have a mouth? Why have lungs? If you're not going to use them, what's the point?
I suppose there is no point.
She is a child. You have to give her patience. You have to give her words. You have to let her learn. You can't expect her to do things. You cannot just chase after her after, and again, I cannot stress this, a tiger. A tiger. Come on.
I keep following.
You head further and further and further into the forest. And eventually you see this large rock formation looming in the distance. As you get closer, you see this large opening in it. There are claw marks and bones of all kinds of different beasts in the front of it. You see the bones of things that look heavily unnatural, things that have the vague shape of a humanoid of just 2 arms and 2 legs and a head, but they are large. some of them are ungainly compared to just a regular mortal person.
Mhm.
Go inside. Explain yourself.
I'm sorry, what?
Go inside and explain yourself. And give her the skin.
There's the like faintest look of disappointment that I have to give up the skin. All right. Can I roll another insight check before I go in?
Yes. What are you trying to figure out?
God, I don't know. Um, is like she wants me to go inside. She wants me to give the thing and the whatever is inside this cave the skin that I have skinned. But is this is it going to kill me?
Is a thing you haven't seen yet going to kill you?
Yep.
That's what you want to inside. Is a thing you haven't seen yet.
No. Like
going...
is she is like she knows what's in there. Like
yes.
What is the vibe that she is currently emitting about the thing in there?
Roll an insight check.
All right. that's an 8.
You're not really sure. She seems calm. She's kind of waiting for you to go into the cave alone.
Yeah, I figured as much. I don't know. I mean, I don't distrust her, but I'm not ready to like fight for her or anything. But like, there's just like that look of annoyance tries not to cross my face, and I'm like, all right, and I go in. It's like I'm taking a real good look at some of these bones and stuff before, like, on my way in.
Okay. Give me a nature check.
13.
13. You look around at these bones, you can recognize some of these creatures. You see busaws in here, large humanoid creatures that are close to just a bipedal animal. You see the bones of a creature called the Bunisnius.
I knew it.
You see the bones of large crustaceans of different forest animals. You see a great number of carabao bones as well.
I head in.
You head into this cave, and your dark vision starts to awaken as you head further in. And what at first you only saw as glinting pieces that were glinting, you now see that in this cavern, as you start to walk in, are tigers looking down at you.
Tigers?
Tigers.
Okay.
They aren't moving, but they don't look particularly surprised or bothered by your appearance.
Mm-hmm.
You head further in and you see that there are claw marks against the rocks and the stone of the ground. There's claw marks against the ceiling as well. As you walk further and further in, you start to head a little down, and the pelt that you have becomes heavier. Just extremely heavy. And can you make me a strength check? Just 3. It immediately falls off your shoulder and hits the ground, and it starts to reform up, and you see mass start to appear again. And walking next to you is it is the tiger from before, walking alongside you.
Okay, that happened. Okay.
It looks up at you. It doesn't look aggressive. It just looks. It looks worried.
Worried for me?
Insight check.
I will insight check a miraculously reformed tiger pelt. 24.
24. This tiger is fully concerned for you.
Cool.
You keep heading further in, and this cavern entrance opens up into a large chamber.
About how long is this walk?
It's been a good 10 minutes of just walking.
Can I cast Speak with Animals?
You can.
I would like to do that.
Go for it.
So this tiger has this tiger been walking alongside me this whole time?
Mm-hmm.
I am I what's in here aside from all of you?
It looks up at you and speaks. Us.
Okay. Who was that woman?
Babailan kumikislap.
Okay. Why were you all attacking the city?
Commanded.
By who?
Hali Hali Ma.
Why?
Fear.
Of what?
Blood.
Whose?
Blood.
Okay. I suppose I'm sorry for killing you.
Why?
I mean, I've never had to look at the newly alive face of something that I've killed before.
It looks up at you and says, would have killed you.
Fair. I still feel bad about it.
Why?
Because now you're like here.
So?
Look, I can't explain the emotion. I just feel bad.
We thought you won.
Okay.
You head further into this cavern and it opens up. And this area you're in now opens up into this 80-foot wide, maybe, cavern chamber. The ceiling of which you can't really see or make out, but you can see a sliver, a crack of light coming down from the roof. And resting in the middle of this area is this tiger who fills up half of the room. You realize now that the entirety of this cavern has been just changing and vibrating, and it's rightful to assume that it'd be the sound of water, but it's moving in time with this tiger's breathing. And as you enter in, it looks down at you.
Is the tiger still at my side? The one I was
Yes.
talking to?
Yes.
Um, the I'm bringing this back to you.
This tiger looks at you and moves forward. It looks at you in the eye and looks at the tiger. And it speaks. Did you lose, little one? The tiger next to you puts its head down. The tiger looks back at you. And who are you?
Do I understand that this tiger is actually speaking to me? Like I don't hear this through the filter of my speak with animals.
This tiger is opening its mouth and talking in common.
Neat. I look up at it and I'm like, my name's Pilar. I'm a hunter.
A hunter.
Among other stuff.
Why have you hunted him?
To protect a friend.
Did your friend need protection from him?
They were fighting.
Were they?
Yes.
I felt her chasing him.
While the city was, people were being killed. When I think back on this, was this tiger in retreat?
This tiger was in retreat.
Okay. What did she just ask me? I forgot.
She said she felt her chasing after him.
Right. I could have told her to let him go.
But instead,
instead, we gave chase and killed him.
she looks at the tiger next to you. Do you wish to come back? The tiger looks up and, rather than speaking through the lens of your speak with animals, talks in common. No. Could learn. Take Hali Hali Ma. Can feel spear blow. Was good hits. Clean. She looks to you. What is it you want?
to find the person who tried to destroy my hometown. That's why I'm here.
A hunter indeed. He will help you.
He help?
He will help you. Until the stars go out in the night, until the moon is devoured, until the eagle, the serpent, the crab, the spider, and the lion win. He will help you until you give him leave.
She looks up at the tiger, but then she looks down at the. She looks up at the big tiger, but she looks down at the smaller tiger next to her. What is your name?
He looks at you with just an incredulous look on his face. Confused by the question.
Does he not have a name?
Most things do not. Most things do not need them. He will have his name in time.
Okay. Thank you.
You need patience.
And Pilar just kind of does this half shrug that is like, it's not the first time she's heard that.
You need patience, and you need understanding. If it was Hali Hali Ma here, you would have been torn in two. But he is off on his fearful journey, and you are left to deal with me, who is full of patience and understanding. You need both, not just violence. You'd think someone like you would know more about that.
Pilar wants to ask what that means.
Does she?
She does.
Mask.
Yeah. What? I'm sorry. What does that mean?
What does what mean?
Someone like me.
Someone with your prestige. Someone with your brevity. You are connected to all things spirit, elf. You should learn more from them. Instead of learning ferocity from a tiger, you have to learn patience. Go.
Okay. She doesn't say anything, but she just like kind of like bows and like bows her head and like turns and leaves.
The tiger follows after you.
She just like she looks down at it, it acknowledges it and figures it will talk when it is ready.
As you start to walk out of this cavern, you can still feel that kind of breathing reverberating throughout the cave. Do you want to try and match it?
Yeah.
Okay. You start to change up your breathing. You start to walk in step with it. And as you do so, you start to feel a little at ease with all these tigers still looking down at you. You feel a little more at home in the forest. And as you keep moving forward up and out of this cavern, you don't hear a set of footsteps next to you. You look down and that tiger is gone. But wrapped around your shoulders is that tiger pelt. It loops, it has a clip on the front of it to hook around your neck, but it has these kind of bands that it's attached to at your elbows and at your wrists. As you step out of the cave, as you breathe, you realize that the forest makes a little more sense now. You understand more about the swing of the trees, and you realize that you're breathing in tune with the wind on this island. You're breathing in tune with the heartbeat of this forest. And as you look around now, kind of getting a better grasp on the forest, the dwarven woman calls out, "Come on, what are you doing? You have to move. Let's go."
I'm gonna take a deep breath in, exhale, and I follow the pylon.
And with that, we're going to take a 10-minute break.
Woo-hoo.
We'll be right back here in about 10 minutes, folks. We're just going to take a quick break to get water, stretch our legs, bio if we need it. You should do the same, probably. And
Yeah.
we'll see y'all in 10 minutes.
Take care
Bye.
of yourselves.
Hello, and we are back. I hope you didn't miss us too bad. We're going to resume with the second half of episode 10 of Tampo. Last we left off, Pilar had a conversation with a large tiger. And tomorrow, Gaita and I are currently traveling with a Manalo passed out on a giant chicken.
I'm in the past.
You're in the past. Pilar, you are guided in one direction alongside the Babylon. And she doesn't say a word. What do you do while you're traveling?
I don't think I say anything either.
No?
No.
Okay. You continue breathing alongside the forest, and
Yeah, that's
Yep.
what I like. That's what I'm doing. Like I'm so kind of like focused on the the abilities that this new thing has given me. It's it's like when you get glasses for the first time and you can see everything really well.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Okay. Can you roll me a survival check?
Heck yeah. 18.
18. All right. You continue walking, and after a while, you realize you're walking alone.
Oh.
But you try and recall when exactly it was that you started walking alone, and you realize it was like 10 hours ago.
10 hours?
You've been walking by yourself for a long time now.
Wow.
And you try and piece together when you split up exactly. And it was after night had passed. You've been walking by yourself after walking all night, and you feel fine.
I get my bearings and I keep walking.
Mm-hmm. As you're walking, you hear the kind of can you roll me just a perception check? What just a flat perception check?
26.
26. You hear a very odd like bark, 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 bark sound.
Okay. I haven't seen it sounds like a chicken.
Sure.
Okay. You know, I haven't seen any animals this whole time, have I?
You've seen them, but you've been walking past them.
Okay, cool. It's out of place. It's very out of place. What is it? I gotta go.
Okay. You pursue that sound of what you think is a chicken, and you look out and you see. Can you roll me an insight check?
Yeah. 14.
14.
Oh wait. I just got this thing and I'm forgetting. 16.
16. You look out and in a moment you think to yourself, has a giant chicken kidnapped Manalo and I? As you see Manalo tied to it and you see the eye in its beak. And you think to yourself, wait, no. There's Gaita. And how would a chicken tie a person to itself? They're not being kidnapped.
Put me down! I said put me down now! Stop! Stop!
And drops you.
How far away are they from me?
You're like 40 feet away.
Are they headed in my direction, parallel, away from?
They're like, you're heading in this direction, and they're heading in the curved direction to move similar to you.
Okay.
Sisu drops you and then puts its wings back out and then crouches down.
While I have an opportune moment, I'm going to leap onto Sisu's back so I don't have to keep walking. If I can, find a spot where I'm not sitting on Manal. If there's room for two, I'll be the second.
Okay. Can you make me an animal handling check?
You know how well the last one went.
What'd you get?
2.
Pilar, you watch as the eye is dropped and this chicken crouches and the eye goes to try and get behind the chicken, and the chicken, squatting, wings out, turns to keep its eyes on the eye.
No. You need to stay there so that I can climb around and get on your back.
Still turning along with the eye.
I need you to stop. No. Hold on. Wait. I'll pull my sword out. Stop.
Can you roll me an animal handling check?
Can I roll stealth? I don't want to be seen right now.
Yes, you can.
That's a 5.
Let me roll an insight for. Okay, no. This is in fact a giant chicken. Sisu bites your sword.
No, give it back. You give it back. Let go.
And tries to pull on it.
Let go. Give it back. Give it back right now. Give it back. I'm not strong enough to pull it from your mouth. You have to let go.
With my 25 stealth, can I basically get right up on them and just hide in a bush and just watch this whole thing?
Yes, you can.
With fictional popcorn.
No.
With berries.
Yes, you can. At this time, guys, so what are you doing? Are you just watching this?
I feel like Aita is just walking. I love this chicken and I'm very entertained by this chicken, and I think it's hilarious that it's actively picking on the eye. But I'm also very worried about what we're here to do. So I'm trying to get there.
Can you make me a strength check? That thing I'm pretty sure you have a -1 in.
3.
3? All right. You are unable to pull the sword from the chicken, and in fact, it lifts up. Do you hold on to the sword?
Sure.
It stands up, and it has you on the sword. It tries to shake you.
Good. What happens, Paladin?
You can try and jump from the sword onto Sisu's back.
Okay, sure. Why not? At this point, why not?
Can you roll me an acrobatics, old man?
I don't like the way you call him old man.
Okay, old lady.
Okay.
It's a
Grandma.
19, actually. That's passable.
That's 19. You're able to like use the sword handle as kind of like a bar and swing yourself onto Sisu's back. Sisu freaks out and has a sword in its mouth.
Drop the sword, please.
Put
Put it down.
It is in fact swinging a sword around.
You'll cut yourself. Put it down.
Okay, at this point, can I turn around and recognize that they're not moving?
Yes.
And I'm gonna kind of, Sisu, come on, we've got to go.
It looks at you and it just looks square at you with this sword, and it puts out its wings.
Drop it. Drop it.
It runs at you.
Okay.
This is how we TPK.
I would like to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay, go for it.
Excuse me, giant chicken.
You see Asisu stops and drops the sword and calls out, "Who? Huh?"
And I appear.
Gaita, you see Pilar, who has this large tiger cloak on her back.
Oh, hey!
Hi.
Who?
What? Hi.
Huh?
I'm the tallest of all of us. How tall is this chicken?
It's a large beast. Its head reaches about 12 feet high.
Okay, cool. First of all, hello, hi, how are you? Are you okay?
Hi.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Oh, hi, can you say hi, chicken?
Hi.
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 What's,
Its name is Sisu. Can someone hand me my sword?
I pick up the sword and hand it to Dai.
Thank you.
That is Dai's sword.
Yeah,
Can I have that, please? I have to give it back to him when I find him again.
Dai is on your back.
No, Manalo is.
And Dai.
As surprised as a chicken can look, Sisu looks surprised.
I'm a friend of Dai's.
Prove it.
Dai, am I your friend?
Yes, of course. What kind of silly question is that?
Dai said so. That makes it true.
No, he didn't. We have to wait until he can talk again. I counted. He can only talk for 10 minutes a day.
Oh.
Confirm the chicken can count.
Confirmed. Chicken can count.
The data takeaway is chicken can count. Chicken can keep track of time. Chicken truly believes that I can only talk for 10 minutes a day.
What is this chicken's intelligence score? That's what I want to know.
4.
That's
Enough to grasp concepts, not enough to fully put them together. Like understanding that you can make fire with a tree, but not understanding that not all trees are going to burst into flame.
Nice. Um,
This is gonna be a weirdology, isn't it?
well, okay. So I has the same ability to speak to you that I do.
Oh, so you can only talk 10 minutes a day too. Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
But I am friendly. You're a big chicken.
Hello, friendly.
Okay. I'll work with it. May I travel with you?
Yes, when I said it's okay. So we have to wait, and Sisu sits down.
I.
Yes, he says, kind of situating his crease back in his
Are
belt
you
now.
able to speak with animals right now?
Yes, I just need to cast it as a ritual, so it'll take a few minutes.
You know, I've been traveling for a very long time. I could use a small break. If you are okay with it, I would not mind if you did that so that this chicken can understand that I am your friend and that
No.
that it is okay to travel with me.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can totally do that. And I will begin the ritual to cast Speak with Animals.
During this 10 minutes, I will explain to Sisu that Da'ai is in fact on his back. Sisu, it's her back. Thank you. Sisu, that Da'ai is on her back, as well as Manalo, and that Da'ai will be talking to her very shortly.
Okay.
And then we can all talk together.
Okay. I know a song that gets on everybody's nerves. Everybody's nerves. Everybody's nerves.
Sisu.
I know a song.
I'm gonna DMCA you.
And it's just balking to these two.
Yeah, it's the same balking that it's been doing for the past like 8 hours that they've been traveling.
Oh my sweet spirits above.
And Pilar, you kind of picture together that all the chicken does when no one's talking to it, it's just singing to itself.
Do you know any other songs?
Yes.
May I hear another song?
It looks at you and squints. Yes. Okay. This is a song that I learned while with old owner.
Okay.
Okay. I am a chicken. You are a person. I am a chicken, and you are a person. And then to the got it just sounds like balking.
Mm-hmm.
Getting so much lore on this chicken right
Right.
now.
This is just a chicken lore episode.
Look, as predicted, I have just met Sisu in the last 10 minutes. But if anything happens to this chicken, I will murder everyone.
This episode is about tiger lore and chicken lore.
Oh. Can I sing a new song?
Sure.
Okay. This one has a dance too. Can I do the dance?
Yeah.
Sisu stands up and says, okay. And then at full blast it screams, it's gonna rain! And runs in a circle and just kind of scrambles around as a figure 8. Just walks back and forth trying to figure out where to, looking back and forth.
Oh.
And you notice that it's late in the afternoon and the air feels a little colder and you feel a raindrop.
Oh. Your chicken can predict the weather.
I'm almost done casting my ritual. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You tell me when I've got it. I'm waiting on the thumbs up as we transition. Who can speak with birds?
And once you're done, I'm gonna cast it again. I got another spell slot for it.
Oh, okay, cool. Then yeah, Paladin, you just let me know when I've cast it.
You cast your spell, and the rapid balking turns into, it's gonna rain. Where do we go? It's gonna rain.
Oh, what is it? Is it gonna rain? How do you know
Oh no,
that?
you can talk again. Are you friends with Friendly?
With friendly? Who's friendly?
I'm friendly.
Yes, that is Friendly.
Pilar. Do you have a second name?
Gaita, all you hear at this point is just a bunch of barking from your two conscious party members and from this chicken.
And then I transition to common for Gaita. We're getting Sisu the lay of the land. It's gonna be just a minute.
All right. Sounds like you all know what you're doing. I've never talked to a chicken before.
Gaita, it looks like it reminds you of your time when you had children in your home that were just toddlers and screaming.
Yeah, that's probably why she's like, I don't want to be involved because I am too old for that now.
If you do you, children, and the eye. Yeah, Sisu thinks my name is Friendly, and I'm fine with that. But I need you to tell Sisu that I am your friend and that we're all going to travel together.
Oh yes, this is Pilar. She is an excellent friend. We like her very much.
Okay. Friendly, do you want to do a dance with me?
Is it the rain dance?
Yes. We can only stop when we find someplace dry.
I think that we don't know where a dry place is now, so we would be dancing for a very long time. Maybe we should just search for the dry place.
Yes. And Sisu does a circle, figure eight, back and forth, just trying to find a place to get dry. But it's just kind of doing the same motions, like in the same places.
Right. There's no dry place here. We have to keep walking.
Okay, where?
We're going that way. That's a good way to go. Over that direction. Over there.
I point because the eye is on Cece's back and cannot be seen.
Correct. The chicken runs in the direction you point.
Oh God.
Gaita after the chicken.
We're following the chicken.
Yes, the chicken is gone.
It has both
Chicken's
Manalo and Dai on it.
Yes.
Chicken's like 60 feet down the road.
Yeah.
We're running.
We're right.
Road, just like down the forest.
Mhm.
Every now and then it stops, looks around, and runs again.
Is it still attempting to rain?
It's starting to rain.
Great.
I feel like as Sisu is running, you can just hear Dai going, "Ah, ah, ah," and then every time Sisu stops for a moment, he goes, "Ah, ah," just the entire way.
To be fair, this is the fastest I think I've seen Dai go, so it's kind of useful.
I'm terrified.
All right. Well, we're following Sisu. Actually, Gaita, where are you all going?
We're heading towards the Maiden of Blood.
Oh,
We didn't really find anything in the library, and Manalo lost his armor to the tiger attack. It was a whole thing.
oh. What's
And
wrong with Manala?
We're not sure. We woke up and we were going to start traveling today, and he just is sleeping. So similar to when Poitog was a teenager, I figured I would just let him do it because trying to wake boys up when they're very tired is a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. And you know where the Maiden of Blood is?
We are supposed to head to this general direction, and then there are some people there, I believe, who will meet us, and then they will take us to her or to the area she's in after they tell us more about her, hopefully more than the library did.
We're going
Okay.
towards Baga,
Yes.
the town of Baga, and they will help us find the actual location that we need to be at.
Yeah.
Just Josh inserting.
Actually, I just had a thought. We're headed there.
From my wandering, have they been headed in the right direction?
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, I will. Pilar has rejoined the party, and oh god, we're chasing a chicken.
Mm-hmm.
How far are we from Baga at this point?
You would have to roll me a survival check, which is going to be at a disadvantage because you're in the rain.
What does that have to do with anything?
And it's raining.
Oh, I have no idea.
Can I roll?
Yeah, go for it.
Am I also at disadvantage?
Yes, you are.
That's not nice.
I never said I was nice.
Ha! Take that. I rolled 2 18s. That is 23.
23.
Mhm.
With Sisu, y'all are about 2 days out from Baga.
Oh.
Eventually, with all the scrambling and moving back and forth, Sisu calls out, "Dry!" And you see Sisu run towards just an outcropping of stone.
Yeah. I assume that my speak with animals is faded at this point, so I just hear a big old bop, and
It's
I
still
assume.
on. You've got like 2 minutes left on it.
Oh, neat.
No, we've been running very fast for a very short amount of time.
Okay. Well,
Just like that dash action every round kind of movement speed.
got it. Well, Sisu found dry.
Just a very helpful chicken.
Sisu runs into this cave opening.
Check for danger first! Ah, check for danger first!
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
Bless you.
Runs towards this outcropping and cave opening, and when it gets there, Sisu rolls.
Oh no!
Which smushes Manalo and to Eye as well. And Manalo's
Oh, no.
tied to this chicken, so Manalo's attached, but to Eye, you are kind of just smushed off, and it scrambles back around and curls up around you.
Manalo, are you okay? Gonna take that as a maybe.
Where did you all find this chicken?
I bought it
Why did you buy this chicken?
because I thought it would be faster than walking.
I mean, technically.
I'm technically incorrect, right?
Mhm.
But also, just, a little bit of a pain in the ass.
A little bit.
I presume that speak with animals is.
We're just still
is
active.
gone now.
You got like
I'm
got a
saying
couple
this in
minutes left.
common.
I just like pat Sisu on the front, like the front part. Good job, Sisu.
I found dry.
Yes, very good job. Very, very, very good job.
Is this like a shallow cave? It's a cave, right?
Yes.
Is it like a shallow cave, or does
You're
it
at
go
like
in
the
really
entrance
far?
of it. You don't know how deep it goes.
Okay. Can I I'm just gonna hold my sword in my hand. Can I just take a look around, see if there's like anything else that lives here?
Sure. You head forward. You head forward a bit into the cave.
I'm being very careful.
Yeah. And as you head into it, you find that like, despite it being a cave, you can still see pretty well. You can see pretty well still. Your dark vision isn't activating. You can still see color. There's some form of light in this cave, but you don't really see a source.
Not like that.
As you head a little bit deeper, you you see this kind of rock blocking the way, and you see some light dancing on the floor.
What kind of light?
Flickering light, like it's from a fire source.
Okay. And so like there's light coming from underneath it, like a closed door.
Not like a closed door. Like the rock is fully touching the ground, but you can still see light on the ground itself.
Can I look for that source of it, or is it like literally the ground?
It looks like the ground is lit up by something.
I'm gonna rejoin the group.
Okay.
We might want to be careful in here. There's a strange light over by this stone.
Should we like go look and see what's up with it? Maybe it's someone friendly.
I'm not sure if it's a person. I just wanted everyone to be aware.
What if we all went and took a very quick look and left Susu here to just keep an eye on Manala for a minute, huh?
Can I
Oh, okay.
Can I look over at Manalo? Is he still like he's good, right?
Manalo is fully passed out, just like flumped over on the side and kind of like a weird neck position. Just
Okay. I'll kind of adjust his neck so that if he did wake up it wouldn't be sore.
okay.
You know, like how your mom does when she walks in on you sleeping. And then I'll sort of, all right, just a quick peek maybe.
Yeah, just maybe we can learn something. Maybe it's very dangerous, so we should leave right away. And if that's the case, then we also can learn that too.
I think maybe leaving wouldn't sit well with the chicken.
You know, that's possible. I don't have an answer to that.
And also, I'm not sure why Manalo is still sleeping, so maybe we should let him rest.
I feel like there must be something strange going on. Maybe he was up very late.
That's normally what it is.
How long has he been sleeping?
Since he went to bed.
So the whole day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
We tried to wake him, but
Is it a curse? It could be a curse. I will cast Dispel Magic on Manalo.
Yeah.
A whole dang day.
Yeah. roll that DC check, man.
I will. $16.
You cast a spell magic, and your spell almost reaches Manalo before it fizzles out.
No, that doesn't seem to be it.
Okay.
There's something else going on. It's I don't.
So what do
I
you all
don't
do?
know.
Into the cave.
Okay. The three of you head into the cave, and Cece looks after you all with a very sad chicken look in its eye.
We'll be back, Sisu.
Oh. Are you okay, Lucia?
Don't do that to me. I don't want you to get hurt.
Oh my gosh.
Truly, what would break Lucia is a bunch of chickens sadly doing a cover of "Don't Cry Out Loud."
Right. Here's I think what we really need to stress. Right. Like if Gaita dies, Lucia might be a little bit sad.
Or whatever.
If Sisu dies, Lucia will be in tears.
What I think we should expect is if Gaita dies, Lucia will be like, "Darn, that happens. It's a game." If Sisu perishes, I'm gonna get a knock at my door. It's gonna be Lucia.
We're just gonna see Lucia disappear off screen.
She casually walks off screen, and then you see someone sucker punch me on camera.
Yeah, then I operate behind you. What did you do to my chicken?
Puts on my glasses, no Sisu lives, takes off my glasses, walks off screen, walks back into her screen. Keep in mind, we're on opposite ends of the country.
Hold up. Are your glasses the thing that gives you DM power?
Mm-hmm.
Don't read into that.
I have a new science experiment.
I've changed glasses. This doesn't matter. We're playing a game right now. Why would you ask those questions?
We investigate the source of the light.
Yeah, so the three of you head into the cave, and you see that large rock blocking your way, as well as a light on the ground, just on the floor near it.
Looking up and around, there's no holes in the ceiling.
No.
There's no.
But you do feel warm here.
I roll nature.
Go for it.
$15.
15. This heat feels like someone lit a fire.
So, just to clarify,
Yes.
we're in a cave.
Yes.
There is a stone blocking our path deeper into the cave.
Yes.
Near this stone, there is a light flickering as if there is a fire.
It's like on the ground, touching up against the stone.
Mm-hmm. So
Like
as
all
if
around it.
Oh, like all around it. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we feel the warmth? Like if I go up to the stone, like I feel that warmth?
Yeah, the closer you get to the stone, the warmer you feel.
Okay. Okay, sit down. I want to sit down.
You sit down. What do you do?
Hello.
Nothing happens.
Is it a kind of stone? Like a particular
It just looks
type
like
of stone?
Just looks like a large rock.
Does it seem to be under any kind of magical effect?
I don't know.
Could I inspect it for magical effects?
How do you inspect it?
Well, I'll let my I'll let Hari kind of come and flutter near it, and the two of us will kind of look together, right, combining its knowledge, his knowledge of the spirit realm and that kind of magic, and me combining my knowledge of other magic. Most of my knowledge comes from him. I'm really just relying on Hari here. I will just kind of take a moment and look at it, like touch it, like
You touch
dust it. Sure, I'll touch it. Why not?
Your hand goes through the rock.
I solved it. I solved it.
What does it feel like?
Nothing. And I walk through the rock.
You all see Dai walk through the rock, and Dai, you walk, and you're at a campfire.
Is there anyone at the campfire?
No. You see someone has set up some cooking supplies, but no one's here cooking.
Is there like a backpack with someone's name tag on it? Did they forget it behind?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Just had to check.
I did the
Like-
right thing. I was just like 10 feet off.
Yes. Yes, you were.
Shush. I stand up and I don't even stand up. I just crawl through the rock.
You crawl through the rock, and you see Dai and a small little campfire.
Is the
Someone-
entrance to this cave big enough for Sisu?
Yes.
I'm gonna go get Sisu.
Maybe
You
Sisu stays
see-
on that side of the rock.
You see Sisu trying to curl around Manalo. And by that I mean you see Sisu on her side, walking in a circle on her side,
Like that dance move?
trying to get to Manalo.
I pat Sisu on the head.
It's moving. Sisu's moving very fast. Just hear, ah! Just trying to go in a circle, trying to catch Manalo.
I get Sisu's attention.
What? Sisu stands up, walks over to you, puts her wings out, slowly retracts her wings. Sisu follows.
And I bring Sisu to oof.
Go on, please explain illusions to a chicken with four
No.
intelligence. I dare you.
No. That's the thing. I just realized that I'm leaving Sisu on the rock side. She's gonna lose her shit.
Yeah?
Oh no. We're here now. We're here. It's happening. And then I put my arms out and I sit.
Sisu puts her wings out and sits.
I bring my arms back in.
She brings her wings back in.
Awesome. I ruffle her front feathers in like praise. I stick my head out.
You see Sisu like pecking at and clawing at the walls.
Oh God. Cool. Can we see through the rock at all?
You can't.
We cannot. Okay. I stick my head back out through the rock. Like, I get Cece's attention. How did I become the guardian of this chicken?
I'm not good at taking care of chickens.
Sisu
You're the
reels
one with the
around-
brain cell.
Sisu reels around and sees you, and Sisu goes,
I step all the way off the rock. I ruffle her feathers. Gaita?
Yes.
Sisu looks at you and looks at the rock and walks over to the rock
Uh-huh.
and sticks out a wing. And Diane Gata, you see a wing pass through the rock.
Oh no.
And you can, and Pilar, you sense the gears turning in Caesar's head, and Caesar goes, rock, and turns around and slams into the wall.
A wall, not the stone.
Not the stone wall, no.
No.
We've been compromised.
Sisu. Oh gosh. Oh. I move to the front of Sisu.
Mm-hmm.
And I reach up and I like pat her beak.
Fuck.
And I hold on to her front feathers and I walk her through. Like, is the rock big enough for her?
Yes.
I walk her through the rock.
Sisu walks through the rock and looks around, looks at the fire, and just sits down close to the fire and just is quiet.
And while she sits, I ruffle her front feathers. I like soothe her beak. I'm just like, this is fine. You're fine. You're fine. We have a chicken.
Throwing this out there, please don't make a compilation of my chicken noises.
It's too late.
Please, formally.
It's
don't.
too late.
I'm not looking forward to this chicken soundology.
Yes.
But you're around this campfire in this hidden alcove, and Manal is still flat out, just knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
But Sisu, Pilar, I, and Gaita, you are around this campfire.
Are we in a forest? Like, where are we?
You're in this cavern in the middle of the forest of Tulunan.
Oh, so we're still in a cave.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
hear the rain outside hitting against trees and leaves and grass and stone, but here it's just this dull hum. It's almost kind of soothing.
Is this an alcove, or is there a path beyond this?
It's just a very large alcove.
Okay.
You said they had camping gear here.
It's just a campfire with some cooking equipment set up.
What kind of cooking equipment?
Like someone has this hanging pot, this like cooking pot.
Is there anything in it?
You open it up and someone has mixed in some spices with some water, but nothing substantial quite yet.
Okay.
And Pilar,
Mm-hmm.
you hear approaching footsteps.
Oh. Okay. I let everybody know this. I'm gonna if I listen carefully, do they sound large? Do they sound humanoid? Do they sound
They sound humanoid.
They sound humanoid? Okay. I more than anything, I don't want them to be surprised by a giant chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Do they sound in the cave or are they outside of the cave?
They're in the cave. They're like maybe 20 feet away at this point, and getting closer.
I'm getting closer. Cool. I'm gonna step out of the rock. I'm gonna stick my hands out of the rock, just like this.
And the footsteps stop.
And say, we mean no harm. We are only seeking shelter from the rain. And then the rest of me comes out of the rock.
Okay. You step out and you see this tiefling. The tiefling man just kind of standing there looking at you awkwardly, looking to the left, looking to the right, looking at you.
Hi.
Hey.
Is this your campfire?
It's one I'm using.
Okay. There's 3 more of us and a giant chicken in here.
Okay.
I just didn't want you to be alarmed.
I appreciate it. And you see at his right-hand side is this massive barbed spear. Yeah.
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 Do you mind if we use the campfire as well?
No.
Okay.
Are you all friendly?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
He walks into the rock, and looks at the lot of you. And just, hi.
Hello. Hi. My name is Hi. This is my chicken.
Huh. Is that your prisoner?
Oh no, that's our friend. He's sleeping. I think he's under a curse.
Okay.
He's nice.
I'm Pilar.
Right. I was going to cook.
No, I won't stop you.
Okay. Are you all hungry?
And it's this point that Pilar realizes that she's been traveling for about a day and hasn't really eaten anything, so yes.
Okay. And he drags back into the rock with him this rather large what looks to be large fish, this large tilapia that is about the size of like 2 eyes. I'm not using it as a unit of measurement, I'm sorry.
So for reference, for people who, are wondering how tall the eye is, that's like 3 feet and change. So that fish is like 6 feet.
Fish is as big as Pilar.
So, how do you all feel about synagogue?
Yeah, I like it. I have some food things if we need to contribute something to the meal.
I have plenty. I guess you're technically guests.
I feel very positively about synagogue.
All right. Okay. You see him take off this large traveling bag, and you see him start to cook rice in a second pot and put in different vegetables and pieces of spices into the mixture alongside what was already there. He starts to carve off pieces of tilapia and just like kind of like bite-sized chunks and placing them gently into the mixture. And then takes out a couple of bones. We can only assume are just like pig or large animal, like farm animal bones, and places them in there as well. And you get this like nice, enticing, somewhat sour smell coming from the pot, filling the cave.
Is he attractive?
Like he's a solid like 6 foot tall, 12 charisma.
Does he look like?
Wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But 6 foot tall, 12 charisma. What's that int though?
What's that strength and dex though?
That int is definitely supplemented by like a high strength and dex.
Okay, so we've got ourselves one tiefling himbo.
Yes, we do.
Does he look to be about Pilar's age?
One beef teeth himbo.
Maybe around there, you would guess from like his demeanor, maybe a little younger.
Oh, okay.
In terms of like respective age, like he'd be older, but because of literal age, Pilar's an elf, so she is actually time-wise older.
It's fine. Our families are really messed up with age. I mean, I'm 250 years old. You're what, like 60? We've got kids that are married. It would be fine. Don't worry about it. Just you hear the internal voice of Da'ai in your head saying, "Look at our kids. Everything's fine."
While he's preparing this food, I'm like, Gaita's like eyes are darting from Da'ai and being like, and then looking over at Pilar, and then like back and forth between the two.
Pilar is doing her damnedest not to notice this. She's leaned up against the rock, like she's sitting against the rock cave, just like not so much trying to meld into the stone, but just like feeling the stone and feeling the stone on her back, just like
The tiefling looks at you, Gaita, and you do I. Is something wrong?
No, nothing wrong.
My bird is causing a disturbance, that's all. And I look at Harry and go, come on now.
Why is your bird just sitting in the air like that?
It's magic. It's a magic bird.
Oh. Hello, magic bird.
So you cook regularly?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I keep watch.
Oh, you're like a guard?
No, just a watch. Just a watcher. Like someone who walks around an area and looks at stuff.
Hmm.
And if there's a problem, then I have to go back and tell people that there's a problem.
Oh, so you don't hunt?
I mean, I can.
And she'll sort of over Pilar.
Is your neck okay?
I was just glancing.
Because if your neck's not okay, you should see someone about that.
Are you single?
I mean, I work alone, but.
oh no. Oh no, he is a true himbo. I love him on principle.
Hmm.
But how's Pilar feeling?
Pilar is extremely interested in the ceiling of this cave now that Gaita is actually asking questions.
Well, work-wise, you work alone, but romantically, are you involved with anyone?
Involved?
Romantically.
What does that mean? What does romantically involved mean?
At this point,
I get asked that a lot, but no one ever explains.
I'm gonna look over at the eye.
So,
I'm not married, if that's what you're asking.
You're not.
No.
Are you interested in marrying somebody?
Well, maybe, but I'm out working a lot, so I don't really see a lot of people.
Do you make good coin working? Would you say you have a good job?
I mean, I have a home. They put the money there.
Hmm.
it's free real estate.
Well, no, I still have to pay for it, but they take that out of my wages.
No, that was entirely Josh.
Oh, you're saying it here, so here it's already happening.
That the himbo is capable of breaking the fourth wall.
The himbo can hear you through the game.
Who,
That's actually terrifying. Let's no.
who do you work for then?
Oh, you know, that too.
Which one?
Amato, but you know, I'm trying to really work my way up just so I can like learn from Etom.
And why would you want to learn from them?
Oh, because like Etom is just the best.
Because he does something very cool, or?
I mean, yeah. He's yeah.
What does he do that's very cool? Is he like very strong? Is he like a particularly good hunter or a fighter, or is he like very funny? Like if you had to pick 3 words to describe them, how would you do it?
Magic and strong and great.
Great, magic, strong. Okay, good, very good. We can work with that.
I'm kind of strong. I've been learning magic. I've been teaching myself magic, and I'm just trying to be great. You know, I'm just trying to do a real great job.
That's
Yeah.
that's good. What was your name?
What's your name?
I'm Gaita.
Hi, Gaita.
I have a daughter, you know.
Okay.
She's very pretty like me.
Well, you are very pretty.
Thank you.
We didn't catch your name, friend.
Oh, my name is Jada.
Himbo beef teeth.
So if you have a home and you make your money and you're trying to train, why do you have a little fire set out here?
Oh, because I need to sleep. Do you not need to sleep?
You don't sleep in like your house?
Oh, I do, but like, when I'm out on patrol, I'm usually out here for a couple of days at a time, and so I've been using this cave for a couple of years.
Oh.
Yeah, I always put up. I do an illusion, and I cook and eat out here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And you're originally from where?
Baga.
Okay.
Yeah. So some people who go on guard duty are like smaller than me, are stealthier than me, but like, if I can be as strong as that Tom, then like, I think I could put so much more strength, so much more muscle behind like the casting. Then I'll make like really good spells.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you meet people who can do magic and they don't have like a good body. They haven't been like keeping care of themselves properly. So like, I figure if I can have like a good body, I can have good magic too.
Definitely seems sound to me.
Right? Like they make strong illusions, but if someone strong makes strong illusions, then they're stronger illusions.
That tracks. I have a random question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any interest in returning to Baga, perhaps to help us find our way to Baga more quickly through these forests? Would you be willing to perhaps be our navigator?
Oh, sure. I mean, you'd have to go past the secondary guard, but yeah, you all seem friendly.
If you'd be willing to take
Are you
us,
there to
if that's
trade?
not, inconvenient. Well, in a way, we're trading.
What are you trading? Are you trading a chicken?
No.
Is someone interested in a chicken?
Probably. We don't have a lot of chickens.
We're not.
Chicken
We'll
tastes
talk
good.
about it.
Not,
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that offensive? I don't want to eat your chicken.
But
if you
the
don't want your
chicken
chicken to
can't
be eaten.
understand you. I mean,
Oh,
the chicken thinks we can't speak.
We're not trading our chicken.
okay.
You don't
Jada
want
looks
to trade
down
the chicken.
at Sisu. You're a very pretty chicken. And Sisu looks up, goes, "Rock." Yeah, I said what I said. And puts like one just boulder of a hand on Sisu's head and pets it.
What do you said the secondary guard?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, we have to always like give an eye out for Galit Nongmyong. So I'm out here to see if she's roaming the forest, and if I do, then I have to go tell them. Meanwhile, the secondary guard is kind of just offshore, and they are the people who ferry people back and forth. If I have to go home, I have to go to the secondary guard. One time I swam back, but they told me that I can't just swim back because otherwise I might be seen. So last time I swam, I went under the water and stayed there for a while, and then walked on the ground to the middle of the bay and then swam up. And no one knew where I was for a couple of hours, and it was funny. But so they told me I have to use the boat from now on.
Yeah, you said that you were keeping watch for someone, and what? Who were they, and why are you watching? Like, what would happen if they were around, hypothetically?
Oh, then I gotta run back and tell them that she's moving around.
And what does that mean? Like, if she's moving around, is that bad? Is that good?
Yeah, it's real bad.
What could happen if she was moving around?
Oh, she might destroy Araga. She might burn down the forest. She might try and destroy part of the mountain. She might try and destroy the bay.
Why would she do that?
Um,
Well, it's either that or she tries to find someone to cater over. And they said that she tries to find someone to fall in love with, but that it's a bad thing because then she tries to take them, and that's not good.
And when you say take them, like kill them.
Sometimes she kills them if they don't like want to stay there with her, or if they don't want all the presents she gives, or if they don't give her back the attention she asks for.
So you mean like kidnap? That's what you mean when you say take. It's like kidnap.
No, not like kidnap. She doesn't take children.
Adult nap.
Adults don't nap.
oh,
I point at Manalo.
I don't know. That seems like a coma to me.
Jada, you've been extraordinarily helpful. We would love
I like that.
we would love your assistance in getting to Baga. May I speak with my friends for a minute?
Yeah.
I pull Gaita and Da'ai and I pull them outside of the rock.
Oh, a quad come. Okay. And he puts
Yes.
his hands over his ears.
He said he was watching for Galitni Magayan.
Oh, is that what?
Yes.
I totally missed it. My brain just went bzzz throughout the whole name. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, and that's who we're looking for, right?
Oh, that's very convenient. I wonder if he knows where she is.
Well, we've been warned that we're not trying to talk to her. We're trying to stop Ontog from talking to her.
But alternatively,
Ah,
what if we just, when we're like, hey, if someone comes and talks to you, don't talk to them.
can I make a? We learned about Galitni Magayan in Iraga. Galitni Magayan wants to marry somebody for like power, right? Paladin. So the thing about Galitni Magayan is that like she likes offerings of blood, obviously, and like marriages. Like she wants to marry somebody. What is with Galitni Magayan then? Help me remember.
Glitni Magayon is a spirit born out of both the rage and the sorrow from the story of Panganoran, Paktuga, and Magayon.
Okay.
It's a spirit fixated on having someone to be with someone.
Mhm.
But part of being with that spirit isn't all that great.
Okay. And you just said that if you said that you think that we should say to Galitni Magayan, if someone comes up and tries to talk to you, don't talk to them.
I'm just pitching it as a possible option.
When you say someone, do you mean Nantog?
In that case, yes, I think we don't want Nontog to talk to the Maiden of Blood. That is correct. That is
Okay.
what we are. That is our objective.
Okay,
Because-
I'm caught up now.
Right,
Thank
because
you.
Nontog wants to talk to her, and then she'll destroy the island.
Okay.
Oh, I see the
supposed-
connection now.
I'm supposed to kill him before he gets the chance.
Okay.
Or one of us, but preferably me.
Okay. Okay. That's all I needed to clarify for now. Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, did we learn about that after you ran away? We might have learned about that after you ran away. Sorry about that.
Yep.
You were busy.
Yep.
Sorry.
A little busy.
And the whole journey, I was
It's-
like, oh, I just feel like Pilar's always with us because, you're with us in spirit, but then you weren't actually there. And so I forgot that you didn't know that yet. That's my bad.
That's okay. But now I'm caught up. And then
Yes.
I go back into the rock. I bring everybody back into the rock. Jada.
Jada's squarely looking at Sisu and going, I know a song that gets on everybody's nerves. Everybody's nerves. Everybody's nerves. Huh?
Can you speak to Sisu?
Yeah.
Amazing. How long have you been out here watching?
Like a week.
Have you seen anybody unfamiliar?
Yes.
Besides us, obviously.
Oh,
Right.
okay. There was one person.
Oh,
Yeah.
what did they look like?
They were half elf.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of like strong, not like me, but like strong.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to get on Tobago. They were trading a bunch of pearls. I told them that they're not going to find like a lot of demand for pearls here because we dive and we get pearls ourselves, but they were like red. They were really pretty, so I figured someone might be interested in that. So he met with the second guard and he's on Baga right now, I think.
You know magic, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you have anything are you familiar at all with like undead?
I don't know any.
Can you sense them at all?
Well, if they have a scent, I can smell them.
Did this person you met with smell like that?
No.
Okay.
That doesn't give us much to go on because we know he can change what he looks like.
Red pearls sound not familiar, but we know that he sort of has traded things that those ports specialize in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always usually his way in.
Mm-hmm.
They're on Baga now?
I think that's where I last saw them.
Do you, Paladin, would I know a reason via nature check why pearls would be red?
Can you roll me a nature check then?
I can. Oh God. I gotta re-roll. Hold on. Come hither to me. Five. I don't know shit. I am a forest ranger, not a water ranger.
It's a different color ranger.
It's a different color ranger. I'm not a blue ranger. I'm a green ranger.
The red ranger might know
The
though.
red ranger might know.
So you know that pearls can come in different colors based on like what kind of clam has them. You also know that some pearls come in different hues of red.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know, for example, like where on the islands red pearls would be more prevalent than like any other color.
No. Pearls come in like reddish hues. You wouldn't know exactly where like from the way he emphasized red, where red pearls could be found.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I got nothing.
Did you also know the Datus of Vaga?
Yeah. I mean, I should, but yeah.
Could you introduce us to them, possibly?
Yeah, I could. Why?
We have some business we have to do with them.
Okay.
Perhaps as well, I could learn some magic from this strong man you know, the Datu.
Well, let's in the Datu. Dad's
The-
Datu. He's just married to Atom.
Makes
Wait, I'm
much more
sorry.
sense.
What was the first word of that sentence?
It was Dad.
That's what I thought.
Right.
If you would be willing to introduce us, I think we would very much appreciate it. Because we have some important news to deliver and also wish to speak with them.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Great.
Jada continues to eat, and invites you all to eat with him. And eventually night comes, and you all go to sleep.
Cool.
And that is where we're going to end today's session.
Gangs
For
back
once,
together.
not a nightmare situation.
The gang's back together.
Hey. So, hello. I've been your DM of the evening, HT Paladin, or just Paladin. I'm a TTRPG content creator. I have a Kickstarter up right now where you can get all kinds of different spells and all kinds of storytelling things. You can find them out. I think we're going to have a link up there in chat, but it's called Incantations. It's a bunch of spells and some subclasses. Check it out if you want to do stuff like fly in a ship, steal some people's enchantments, play a cleric who harnesses the force of creation. You know, chill shit like that. I'm going to pass this off to Latia,
Why?
because you haven't been here in a while.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It's me, your girl, Latia Jaquise. At Latia Jaquise everywhere that I am, except for the places that I am not. I don't know, man. I got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fingers and a lot of pies, but you can come hang out with me on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Central, twitch.tv/Rivals of Waterdeep. It's episode 100. Holy cow. And we've got some great stuff planned. Masood might kill us. I don't know. But we've got a whole bunch of giveaways that you should definitely come and hang out and be in chat for. And then afterwards, we're having a big old get together with every single rival that has ever been, along with just some other fun stuff. That's basically it. I'm very happy to be back. I really missed being away for 2 weeks. But also, I feel like if I hadn't been away, we wouldn't have gotten Sisu. And I'm full of joy over Sisu. I might stream after this. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Check my Twitter for that news. I work for Mighty Cook Games and we got a Kickstarter going. That's a thing. That's a thing that's happening. Kickstarters abound. We are launching a game called Stealing Stories for the Devil. Do you like heists? Do you like making heists go well through the power of lying? Do you like space? All of those things are possible with Stealing Stories for the Devil. We have smashed our goal and we've got stretch goals abound. We're putting a whole entire different game in the deluxe edition if we reach our next stretch goal. So you should definitely go check that out. Kickstarter, The Devil Made Us Do It. It's really fun. It's just a fantastic game. I'm very excited to have it be out in the world, even though I did nothing in the design process of it. But that's me, and just, you know, Twitter is where my brain lives. So go there and follow me. I love you. Lucia, say stuff, please.
Hi, I'm Lucia, otherwise known as Searsword, all over the internet. Mainly Searsword is my shop. So if you like dice, pins, other TTRPG related things, I sell those in my shop. I was gonna promote some stock dice that I put up today, but they're out of stock. So I'm gonna do more stock dice, which I think people are excited for, because who doesn't love dice? I have some new ones coming soon, that hopefully I'll have a full announcement for. But most of my announcements I make first on Twitter. I prioritize Twitter over all of my other social media because it's the easiest one to post on. So follow me there at Searsword. Otherwise, I'm here playing Tampo every week, and I'm a guest writer on Incantations. So if you want to check that out and you know, see some fun stuff that I'm doing there too, just a little bit, you can check that out. Otherwise, pick up the Islands of Sina Una from Hit Point Press, deck of many, that helps me out, and I want to do more stuff with a lot of the team that was on it, and picking up the book helps us out. So that's me. Josh.
Hello, my name is Josh. I am a freelance tabletop game designer. I'm a variety streamer on my own channel, but not next week because I'm going on vacation. And I am also the assistant director of ambassadors at Jasper's Game Day. It's a nonprofit organization where we use tabletop gaming for the cause of suicide prevention. So yeah, I released a supplement this past week called The Gelatinous Guide to Ooze. It's got some new ooze-based monsters. It's got a playable oozeling race. The art is really cute. You should check it out. Or don't. You do you. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but that's what I got going on. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I also want to just, while we're here, give a shout out to Omega Jones, aka Critical Bard, on all social media platforms. He is a delightful human being. Bit of a hot mess, but we love him. And could not join us today. But please go to twitch.tv/criticalbard, drop a follow there, and Critical Bard on all the other social media channels, and follow as well, because wonderful human, does some great stuff. We love them very much. I think that's what I got.
All right. Well, since we're going to go raid Paradise RPG, who's doing some Pathfinder, we'll see y'all next week when we have the full crew. Goodbye.